And guys, I say that because, as I say, with the stuff that I was able to achieve, and I can blow my trumpet about, and some of it's a long, long time ago, but it was always preceded by some blood, sweat and tears, and probably often a number of years. It's the hard work you do now that will see the scoreboard look after itself in 2, 3, 4 years. And the hard work comes in many ways. It's not just getting up in the wee hours of the morning. It's being creative, innovating, the hard work of doing the due diligence on your people so that you don't have to wheel them out because it doesn't work out. It's the hard work of connecting with your franchisor and all their offerings and all their learning stuff and the ways that your business can connect and be more efficient. It's all that planning and stuff that is really critical. But I can tell you guys, as they party in London tonight, all those guys with medals around their neck, they had some talent, but the rewards because of the blood, sweat and tears. Let me go on to the aspect of process, which to me is critical, and I think in any business it's really critical. I suppose I have to take you back to the inconsistency of our team in the late 80s when I first became captain. In business we call it sustainability. You want to have, and your franchisors want to see, as you report monthly, quarterly, yearly, they want to see a sustainable performance, hopefully growing. They don't want to see inconsistency, up and down, volatility. If you're going to become a great sports person or a great sporting team, you have to be consistently good. You can't go to Olympic Games and have something go wrong. You can't go to a Rugby World Cup and have a bad day in the office. And consistency just doesn't happen overnight, nor does sustainability. And I'll take you back to some of my frustrations in the first 2 years of captaining the Wallabies. 88, we played the All Blacks. We had one great match at Ballymore in Brisbane. We had 2 lousy matches in Sydney. We lost the series badly. In 89, next year we have a team called the British Lions coming to Australia. They only come to Australia every 12 years, and if I've got any regrets talking to you this morning, it's that we didn't beat those bastards. We had a fantastic team in 89, but we didn't reach our potential. We beat them by about 25 points at the Sydney Football Stadium. We came up to Brisbane and got physically bashed up. I remember it because it started and ended with me. The guy with his C next to his name, the little guy. They turned it on. My only regret is that we didn't stand toe-to-toe, and we had to change that. We actually got some, wouldn't call them thugs, but we got guys into the team. Talked about picking the jigsaw or getting the jigsaw right. Sometimes you need all types of people. And in rugby, you need some guys who will stand toe-to-toe with people. And so we learned from our lesson. But we got beaten up there. Third test in Sydney, so the deciding test, who wins the match, who wins the series. As I said, they come only every 12 years. You get one roll of the dice against them. And we led by a few points with a couple of minutes to go. Some of you who remember rugby, and a long time ago, you might remember it was the day Campo sort of had the brain explosion. Got the ball with a few minutes to go. Campo was a guy who was never going to die wondering if he could beat the tackle. And the obvious thing to do was kick it out in the full. We defend the line-out, we defend the next 2 minutes, we win the match and series. But Campo set off upfield, got himself in a spot of bother, threw a ball to Greg Martin, who wasn't expecting. The ball was dropped, the rest is history. So we lose the match and we lose the series. And then we went to France at the end of 89, and we played only two matches on about a 6-week tour. People often say, Nick, what was your most memorable games? The first test we played on the French-German border, a lovely little town called Strasbourg. It's fantastic. We had all this young team, Kearns and Horn and Little and Peter Fitz debuted that day, and so did Rod McCaw, your Queensland chairman. And against this star-studded French team, we beat them by about 40 points, scoring those 5 and 6 tries from 40 and 50 metres out, great defence. It was just one of those great days where the stars aligned. Sometimes people say, Nick, it was only France, what's the big deal? Guys, thank God I couldn't speak French back in 89. They built out that wonderful anthem, La Marseillaise. I mean, part of the translation is, with the blood of our enemies, we shall fertilise our soils. I mean, you pull out the white hanky and say, forget the game, guys, let's go and have a bottle of wine. So you might say, well, what is the process in rugby? It goes way beyond the 80 minutes, but it's every person in that team doing their job. I mentioned at the beginning, it's an inclusive game. There's a position for all body types. The little kid who got the number 9 jersey, so what's my role? I get first use of possession, so my lateral vision is really important. People often don't think about this, but when you look at sportsmen, particularly in football, and guys in the middle who get first use possession, they've got great lateral vision. They can see 270 degrees, because you don't have a lot of time to make your decision. You want to make sure that 9 times out of 10 your judgment's right. So my lateral vision's critical. My judgment's critical. My bread and butter is what's known as my pass. How quickly I can get it into my number 10's hands. The decision making of when I go short, my defence, my organisation defence, everything that goes into my game, do it as well as I can. Trust the 14 guys around me to do their job. And at the end of the 80 minutes, as difficult as it is when you're playing a World Cup final, but then look up and see what the scoreboard tells you.